Okay, so I want you to have a look at this big gigantic question. Pause the video, give it a go yourself first. Only go up to question 4 for me, not including question 4. So in fact, just do questions 1, 2, and 3. That's basically what I'm going to say. Right, so let's do it. We're going to do it obviously in pseudocode, so we need type. I'm going to call it temp cat for category equals cold. So the order we want is cold, moderate, warm, hot. So that's our order. So this bit is done. Define a pointer type that can point to a float value. So I'm going to make a type called tFloat pointer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it equal float. So what's happening there is the identifier for this newly defined data type is going to basically point to that location, to that memory location of float data. Declare a variable called temp category. So we're going to make a variable now, not a data type, a variable. Declare temp category. And I'm going to make it of this data type. So I'm going to go dun 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 dun, and I'm going to do temp cat. And we want it to have moderate in terms of temperature. So I'm going to do temp category will equal, and I'm going to put in moderate, not a string, a value. Okay, pause the video, give this question a go yourself first. Okay. So create an enumerated data type called direction for north, east, south, west. So as we know, we're going to do type direction, and we're going to have it equals north, east, south, and west. We then need to declare a variable called current direction of type direction. So declare current direction, and I'm going to do this, and we're going to say direction. So we've done that. Assign east to current direction. So we have current direction equals east, no speech marks. Make a procedure called next direction, and we're going to do this in pseudocode. So procedure next direction, and we're going to pass in a variable called, let's make it, let's call it direct, and it's of type direction, and update it to the next cardinal direction in a clockwise manner. Okay, so if we do north, it should be east. If it's east, then it's west. Okay, so simply we can do this as an if statement, or I can do it as a case. It would be easy to do as a case statement. So case direct of, and then I'm going to do, if it's north, so sorry, north dot, and we want the direction to equal east. If it's east, we want the direction or direct to equal south. If it's south, we want direct to equal west, and if it's west, we want direct to point to north. End case, and then end procedure. We need to call next direction and output the new value. So really we're using by ref because we're returning the value, but we're doing it as a procedure. And so it wants us to call it. So I'm going to do, if it's pseudocode, call next direction and pass in direct, and then we want to output direct, and there you go. Happy Larry days. Okay folks, pause the video, give this a go yourself first. Alright, so we're going to use type, and we're going to call it room type, and we're going to have it equal lecture hall, computer lab, science lab, and seminar room. I'm just going to do SAM, I can't bother to write the whole thing. Type, and we're going to have availability status. I'm just going to call it availability. Equals, and we're going to have available, booked, maintenance, cleaning. I'm not going to use close with cleaning, can't be bothered again. Okay, so we've done that. Now let's implement it. Declare a variable for computer lab with the ID CL101. Okay, so first of all, declare CL101 and it's of type room. My bad. Dot room. Cool. Now, what we want to do is make it available. So it's going to be CL101. So CL101 dot. Why am I doing dot? Because we've got a data structure that has room ID, type, and status. So let's do that. So dot status, and we're going to make it available. We actually, let's give it a room ID as well. So CL101, room ID, and the ID would be CL101. Does it tell us to give it a type? Declare for computer lab room. Yeah, so we do need to do this. Okay, so we did need to do ID. Okay, so let's do CL101 dot type. And the type is computer lab without speech marks. Cool. So that is done. Write procedure name book room. Okay, let's do that. Procedure book room. And it takes in room. And changes its availability status to booked. Okay. Hold on. Write procedure that takes a room and changes its availability to under maintenance. I'm doing the wrong one. And change its availability status to booked if room is currently available. So if I'm going to do room, so the room we're passing in, dot status of the room equals and booked. Then I'm an idiot. We're doing not checking to see if it's booked, we're checking to see if it's available, aren't we? So if it's available. So we're checking that. If it's available, then we want to change the status. So room.status equals booked. Okay. If a room is not available, procedure should print a message saying room cannot be booked. So else output room cannot be booked. End if. And then end procedure. So that bit is done. Write a procedure named performance maintenance that takes a room. Okay. So procedure performance maintenance room and changes its availability to under maintenance. As a chief procedure should ensure that only rooms, types, computer lab and science staff can be set to under maintenance. If an attempt is made to perform maintenance on ledger or similar, message should be printed saying it can't be available. Okay, cool. So if this runs, if room dot type, so we're checking to see if it equals computer lab or room, that should be capital R, dot type equals science lab, then we want to change the room status, so room dot status equals under maintenance. Else outputs maintenance not applicable. And if end procedure. So we've now just done this, which leaves us with testing. So what we're going to do is actually run this code. Well, I say run it. Attempt to book CL101. So what we would have to do is call book room to book it. I'm going to pass in our literal room of CL101. That's what we want. If we were to run it again, we'll do book room CL101. But when we book it for the second time, it will say book cannot be booked. Room cannot be booked because we've already booked it. After booking, set CL101 to be under maintenance. Okay, to make it under maintenance, we need to perform maintenance. perform maintenance CL101. Now 101 is, as we made it earlier, a computer lab. So it should be able to be under maintenance because of this. If room type is computer lab, then make it under maintenance. So that should work. I'm not going to do this last one because this can't be bothered. But you'll just create a new type. So you need to make a new variable of type room. You'll then have to put the attributes in, and then you have to call perform maintenance. And it would say, if we try to run this, cannot do that because it's a lecture hall, not a computer lab or science lab.